Joy, tell me more. Tell me when you did all those unpredictable things in your life. Describe those things that you're so concerned about and that you talked about last week.
Like what?
I don't know, but in your whole life you said there were various things that were very upsetting.
I tried to kill myself twice. Or suicide attempts. I think I'm beginning to understand the difference. I was a prostitute for a while. I lived in Chicago. I was bulimic. I am bulimic. I've been bulimic since I was 17.
Are you still bulimic right now?
Yeah.
When were you a prostitute? What's that all about?
Make money. Past.
When were you using drugs as well at that time?
Yeah.
What kind of drugs?
Cocaine. No, not regularly. I just, if I do a job or something, you know, they have it there. So I was raped twice, both times, which I think that it was my fault.
How's that?
I lead them on.
Now, where were your parents during all of this?
Home.
But why weren't they in your life?
You don't tell your parents that kind of thing, so they're not going to let you out of the house.
How old were you during all of this?
I was raped the first time at 13, and I hadn't had sex before. And second time, I think I was 16 or 17. But, you know, it's not like you can't tell your parents that kind of thing. Yeah. I had an abortion one time when I was 17, and I told my mum about that because I had to actually. She had to sign it for me. I was all scared, and I did tell her, but she said she was happy that I did because she said most kids probably wouldn't actually tell their parents if something like that happened, so I guess I did tell her about that one.
Do you cut yourself?
Yeah. Well, I think the cutting myself and the hurting myself and smashing my head on the wall, it's just, I think it's all just because I want to get away. I have this unbelievable desire that I want to just escape and get away from the pain. Me in particular, I think more than other people, because I just want to get away from it. Yeah. I don't know. I think this might be. That's all why I ended up on medication and why I ended up in hospital. And it could be why I'm having all this trouble with Michael. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what exactly at this moment, but I know that I don't know, maybe something to do with why I feel so lonely even when I'm with him. You know, there's something wrong with me. I'm not like it. I don't function on a normal level. You know, for us to sit here in between that I do, that's fine. Whatever, we can do that. And it might even be helpful. Because, you know, they just say that when you're dealing with people with borderline that you should do some family work, but I guess I'm just concerned that you're not going to pay any attention to it, to all this other stuff.
Joy, I think you're afraid that I'm not going to treat you like a patient. Everybody for years has treated you like a patient. I'm going to treat you like someone who has great potential, who's not a diagnosis, but a human being who can do much more in her life. Look at this room. This room is a hall of mirrors. Each mirror reflects the other, which reflects the other. You can go back and forth in the mirrors forever. I want to work with you in terms of the positives, your successes, the growing parts of yourself. Help you to transform those relationships. When we first met, just almost as a throwaway line, you said, oh, by the way, if my marriage doesn't change in 2 weeks, I'm going to kill myself. I want to work with you to empower yourself as a strong person, to change your marriage and change your other relationships. If you believe firmly in your heart that you're flawed, you will stay flawed. Nobody likes to be wrong. If you believe instead that you have tremendous potential, there's lots more that you can do for yourself and with yourself, and you can change those relationships that get you down. You can really transform your life.
I'm just so confused.
Oh, I understand the field is very confusing. It's a Tower of Babel. There are all these different conflicting voices.
I want to believe you. I really want to believe you. And maybe this can do something. Maybe it will help. I don't know, but it hasn't before. All my life, nothing has worked, so I don't know. I wondered if I'd ever see you again.
Well, let's see. How long has it been?
God, was it 9 years? Yeah.
You know, I was reviewing the video before this session, and you were depressed, you were hopeless, and you were suicidal and bulimic. Where are things at this point?
Well, that's gone really, completely. Yeah, I'm no longer bulimic. I haven't been for many years. I'm no longer suicidal. I haven't been for many years. My friends, I've got these friends, I think I told you, they love therapy. One of them thinks she's a therapist, she's not. And yeah, sometimes they keep telling me that I need to go back into therapy again, and I just said, no, I'm not in denial. I don't need it. Everything that I do from now on is based on what I've learned, so I'm all right. Yeah.
Even on tough days, right?
Oh, well, you know, I've got stresses in my life, so does everybody. And, you know, my family situation, I've got 2 quite difficult children, but I can handle it. Sometimes I might be displaying what they might see as symptoms of somebody that's mentally ill, quote unquote, and, you know, rocking in the old chair and crying. And they say to me, you need a psychiatrist, and I say, this is not even something I would deal with my psychiatrist. I can handle it. So yeah, yeah, I get upset, but
and you do handle it.
I do, right? Yeah, in the long run. Yeah.
How are your relationships at this point?
I've got a great husband. Did I tell you about that?
Tell me again.
He's a builder. He's a lovely man. He's not without his faults like everybody, but he looks after my kids very well. He loves my kids, and he hugs my kids, and he gives them what I need and what they need. And what he's taught me actually is that he's taught me physical love and physical affection. And yeah, he's not a perfect man by any stretch of the imagination, but he gives me things that I need, and I think I can do that for him too. So it's functioning and it's working and it's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, and what do you do? Now you have a business now, right?
Yeah, I've got 2 shops. So I sell, you know what I do best, babies. So I sell like recycled baby equipment. And they're going well. I'm hardcore now, you know, hardcore businesswoman.
I remember you used to be very afraid of any conflict.
Yeah.
Are you still?
I think I love it. No, I don't love it, but I was just thinking about it today. Actually, I was marvelling. I was on the phone to the insurance man, and they fucked up my policy, and I rang him up and I just said, if you're going to be dealing with small businesses, you've got to do it properly. So yeah, then I rang up the guy that sold me the policy and told him he'd screwed it up. So no, I think that's actually one of the biggest things that I've learned is, yeah, truly the way that I have to just confront things and how to deal with confrontation. And that's been the biggest change for me, I think.
How about being around people, like your partner's family?
Well, it's great. It's great. We had a family Christmas actually, and he had his whole family there, and I hate that stuff. And I've got this little family, and I just like to keep it that way. And I went in there thinking, oh God, here we go. And I found myself just looking around going, I love being part of this. Yeah.
So Joy, what do you think worked in our work together? In our short therapy?
Well,
compared to what your friends talk about in terms of therapy?
Well, what worked for me is just the fact that you had a bit of faith in me, I think. You said to me, Joy, you're a strong woman and you can do this. And that's something that gave me a lot of strength. It was, One time you said to me, you didn't really want to hear about, the theories, and you are a manic depressive, you are a borderline personality, you just didn't want to borrow any of that. And one time you said to me, there's nothing wrong with you, you're just sensitive. Okay. Do you remember I brought Michael in and you said, how tall are you? And I said, he said 6'1", and you said, you're 6'1", your wife's sensitive. Don't attach anything to it, just be responsive to her. Said, yes.
Well, good. Well, thanks for coming in.
That's okay.
Give me some
Thank you.
follow-up.